This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Welcome, everybody, to Prime Cutler, a weekly recap of Very Cavallari and its best star, Jay Cutler. My name is Kevin Moyers, and I'm here for Season 1, Episode 6. As I predicted last week, this is a very light Jay episode. Kristin takes her Uncommon James crew off on a short little trip to Florida. They use Worth's private jet, fly to his beach house, and pretty much get drunk for a few days on end. As far as the crew goes, we don't see Jay for the beginning of the episode, really. We don't see him for quite a while in the episode, but as far as the crew goes, Taylor is still being secretive about her pregnancy. She does open up to Kristin in the van from the airport to the beach house. It's just her, Shannon, and Kristin in the cab, and she tells Kristin what's happening. So they're plotting, Shannon and Taylor, to hide the pregnancy. Shannon will take Taylor's drinks and so on and so forth, so she's not having to drink, or people aren't questioning, why aren't you drinking, stuff like that, because usually that's a suspicious thing if you're trying to hide a pregnancy, to not drink when everybody's out drinking. So, if you're a drinker, that is. But that's something people will notice if you're usually a drinker. So they're trying to find ways to hide it. And Kristin, now being in on it, explains that when she was first pregnant, she and Jay were engaged but not yet married, and they ended up having their first son in their wedding. They waited till after she had the baby. She was 24, which I think is about the same age as Taylor, and they were hiding it, and Jay kept drinking her drinks and got completely trashed because he was drinking double, basically. So that was kind of funny to hear. But they decide to hide it throughout the trip. They have a rope thing, which you're not supposed to get on if you're pregnant or you have back issues and stuff like that. Same as any amusement park ride. And they just say that Taylor has a horrible fear of heights, which, just covers things up even further. As they go on, they get to the second night, I think it was, and Kristin gets completely trashed. Completely. And during this, and she said she doesn't have an off switch. So during this time, she starts screaming. She's like, I love Jay Cutler. I love that motherfucker. Which was funny as shit. But again, it's just more continuing pieces of how good of a couple the two of them are. And there's more of that through the episode as well. They're well suited to be a pair. But the rest of what's going on here really isn't that fascinating. I mean, she's yelling about that. She tells Worth, like, you and Shannon have a thing going. You and Shannon totally have a thing. And Worth is like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? He just is dumbfounded by the whole thing. She's like, I love your girlfriend and all that stuff, but I think there's something with you and Shannon. He's like, nothing. What the fuck? And then they got Cleve, the photographer. He's there. He takes his shirt off. He's Kristin screaming, take it off, get naked, shit like that. And then Shannon does a body shot off of his naked chest. Again, like, she does whatever the fuck she wants. In spite of Gurney. I don't know. You probably don't want your girlfriend doing shots off of a ripped guy that is single and like, I don't know. It's just not, especially in your 20s, it's not a great thing. And I guarantee if Gurney did some shit like that, she'd flip her fucking nut. Not a chance she wouldn't. there's speaking of Gurney, there are no significant others invited for the work part. So Brittany starts talking about how Stone, her Eddie Vedder lookalike boyfriend, just doesn't seem to respect her, doesn't listen to her when she's talking about things. Doesn't like they got a puppy. She set up, babysitting for the puppy for the time she was going to be gone because he was on tour for a couple of weeks, and he comes back and takes the dog over to his mom's with no food. So he undermines her and shit like that, and she keeps getting more and more. He's manipulative, stuff like that, and then Shannon all of a sudden so anti-Stone. Oh, he's manipulating her now, and this and this. And I used to not like Brittany. Me and Brittany are fine, but now Stone is a monster. Bah, the way he treats her, and she's telling Gurney this shit later in the episode because I'll get to that, but she's just completely zoning in on the shit that's horrible about Stone. Meanwhile, she's a manipulative monster and trying to cover her own evil. If I hate that, how could I be the person that does that? Man, I took my daughter to see Skyscraper a few weeks back, and I kind of laughed at one part. She's like, Dad, it's serious. But I told her after the movie, I was like, I have seen this movie before. And that's it with Shannon. I have seen that movie before, too. She is, dialing in hard on what Stone does. Again, so, if I hate that in this guy, how could I possibly be that kind of person? And I have so seen that before. It's like every one of these politicians that they're against gay rights, but then they're foot tapping in the bathroom, and hooking up with gay hookers in Colorado and whatever the hell they're doing. So yeah, it's such hypocrisy, and it's amazing. And but anyway, and she's just so disrespectful again of Worth and his money. Like, oh, he was born with $1,000 out of his mom's vagina, whatever the fuck kind of shit she says, and it's really ridiculous. But so as they're going through all this, Kristin decides she misses her kids. She's going to go home early, let them enjoy a couple of days without the boss kind of thing. And Worth invites Gurney and Stone to come hang out for the post-work part, and Kristin's there when they show up, but she's on her way out, and Brittany and Shannon are flipping out like Kristin's going to be mad, but she doesn't care. She's like, the work stuff's over. You guys have fun and enjoy yourselves. Worth invited them, and as a surprise, and, whatever. So, and Kristin knew about it, so it wasn't a big deal. But she takes off, and there's more of this little petty shit, and Brittany brings all this shit up to Stone. He's like, hearing it but not hearing it. And honestly, these two aren't going to make it through the fucking season for all I can see. Or they will, I don't know. But Brittany's like, I've got so much emotionally invested in this. I don't want it to end. Yeah, that's a 20-something thing to say. I've spent so much time. It's wasted time. And it's wasted time because it's a fucking thing that isn't working. Whatever. You need to go through that shit to learn. But, they finish their trip and that's it. And I really have nothing else to say about that. That's all the hits and, little topic hits of the whole thing. Outside of, once Kristin's gone, I just don't care what's going on. Drunk Kristin was fun. The rest of it was just I don't give a fuck. So, Kristin gets home. Actually, no, she did have one call that morning, a good Jay moment. She had a phone call that morning. She FaceTimes him, and he looks like he's taking it from his, holding the camera from his side. It's weird, like he's doing a profile shot and then turning to look at the phone. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but it's like he's doing it on purpose, and it's amusing as hell. And she's cracking up with him. It's like, I'm not 21 anymore. He's like, nope, you sure aren't. Just fucking with her. Where are the kids? One's in school, one's asleep. Not sure where the other one is. Just messing with her completely. She's like, and this kills me because when you do the commercial breaks, they use this moment as though it's dramatic. They they'll take shit Jay says and make it sound like it's serious, but when you see it in context properly, they're always cracking up, or she's making another joke back, or, you could tell it's goofing around, but they make it look so fucking serious. And she's like, can I talk to the kids? And he goes, I don't know if they should see you this way. That's why they cut it at the commercial, like, oh, it's serious. But then when he says it, like the second he finishes a sentence, she starts cracking up and he's cracking up. Like he's just making fun of her for being hungover at, 35 or whatever the hell she is. So it drives me crazy that they make all these serious moments, out of bullshit. But she goes home. He's like, haven't seen you for a couple days, She's like, it's only been 2 days. Like, seem longer to me. Again, their little thing. And she even brings it up. Little sweet moment because he plans a day date. They're going to go to this farm and check out chickens for their new house. She's like, that's so sweet, all this. So they do that. And Jay tries to catch a chicken. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a reason he was a quarterback and not a cornerback, because he could not catch this motherfucker. There would have been one touchdown after another sailing over his head into the hands of a wide receiver. He was chasing his thing around, and then Kristin tries, and then a lady that works there that runs the farm finally caught it, and they're all cracking up and shit, and he's checking it out. And, it was a fun little moment, but not too much, honestly. It's pretty much it from Jay. And it was a good moment. It was fun, but, I think the phone call was even funnier, the FaceTime when Kristin was hungover. But next week looks promising. They do have like a dinner date where it's Jay and Kristin, and then they have Kelly and the Canadian there. And I swear to God, I just want to smack that dude right in his big, dumb, fucking Macklemore haircutted head. I just do. He's such a doofus. He's so dumb. In the commercial, or the ad for next week, Kristin asks him, so what are your intentions? And he says, wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? And then they just show Jay, and he's just got this fucking, like, okay face, and he's just like, takes a bite and kind of points with the fork. Like, I can tell he just doesn't care for the dude. I don't know. I can just see it. Or maybe it's a bullshit out of context moment, but the guy's such a dumbass. I'm excited for next week, honestly. I think that's going to be fun. As, Kelly seems sweet but flighty, and this guy is just a jackass. So, anyway, that's about it. There's really nothing else for the show. It was not my favorite episode. It had a few moments, but I just don't care about the boyfriend shit with the Uncommon James people, and I don't know. It's all like teenage drama going on, and I don't care about that, because I look at it all, at this point, having been through enough where I'm just like, that's just nothing. It's all bullshit. Who cares? But anyway, thank you guys for listening. I do appreciate it. If you'd like reality shows, check out Floribama Slammers, which I do with my co-host Frankie G, and we break down Floribama Shore every week, starting in Season 2, but once that season's over, we're going to backtrack and go through Season 1 and the first couple we missed of this season. So that is also at abnormalentertainment.com. We have politics. We have life stories. We have me getting the hiccups on the microphone right now. It happens. All kinds of stuff over there. So check that out. And also go to bunny17media.com. If you like me here, you'll like some of the books that I've written, anything over there. Use the word Cutler in the promo code box, and you will get 15% off. And you can buy all that stuff on Amazon. You can get your free shipping or whatever, but just know that when you go through bunny17media.com, we get more of a cut than Amazon gives us. So, because they take a big chunk. And let's face it, they have become the evil empire. So you can support us independently, or you can go through them and we lose money. So I would hope you go to the site, use the code Cutler as a thank you for doing that, and you get 15% off. So all kinds of stuff there. Just go check it out. I mean, school started. Talking about the Cutler Cavallari kids. School started. Go check out the first in the Casey and the Jackalope adventure books. They're educational chapter books. A lot of vocabulary building in there. And it's a fun story that I wrote with my daughter, who did all the artwork for it. So, yeah, go enjoy that. Cutler, 15% off. There you go. And thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week on Prime Cutler, a very Cavallari recap. Goodbye. Listen to more of Prime Cutler and subscribe at abnormalentertainment.com. Find all Abnormal Entertainment shows at abnormalentertainment.com, Stitcher Smart Radio, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Find me at Kevin Moyers on Twitter and on Facebook. Find Abnormal Entertainment at Abnormal Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.